Adolf Daniel Benza. I did go to Cooper Union, valedictorian, Sarah Cooper Hewitt Prize in architecture and engineering and in physics, and then of course painting. My reason to be honest isn't that I'm honest. I'm interested in being a detective of the Prince of Peace, and cause my deductive skills in investigations with contracting with Dr.Hc, 10-year imprisoned, and Ivan Humernik and Karol Getzi Abelowski, the National Gallery Bratislava director. Edvard Munch had the National Gallery in Oslo, the greatest collection. Now I have 35,000 paintings, which certainly outpassed Picasso and Edvard Munch, even Zinodorus, Nero's sculpture of Colossus at the Colosseum, bronze, my Classica Contemporanea, Galleria Neua. This is exactly why I don't have reason to be anonymous or Maximus 5000 Quintus M. It's irrelevant. The nomenclatura of secrecy is quadrilateral. Theoretically, duality and other active duality. Painter, I'm quadrilaterally not active except in creation of archive. Investigationum principium quadratis cerebellum. Now, my anonymous character is that if I play chess at 45,000 level, I am going to lose on the last move by making a mistake, by countering a larger move next. So my anonymity is not expressed in my investigation as a negative, non-active investigator. I never fall into the praxis of quasi-criminology, adiaptria prepositional. In this way, my Triumph Trojan dynasty Benza is accurate. I am not exaggerating. Nebuchadnezzar, Salizar, Syria's all kings, and Antioch's degenerate Athenaeusmus. Athenaeusmus is my pride, as Apollo, the mask of Apollo, the demigod. But let's get serious, Polyphemus, Adolphus Maximus. I am anonymous, nobody, anonymous. It's your turn to move, but the problem is I live on false faith, at the quadrilateral detriment of physical abuse, meaning 153 microfractures in 25 to 9-minute attacks, wrapped in my own paintings, and having broken bones. 153 microfractures means about 50 bones broken every attack. These men were asking between $30,000 and $7,000 each time they attacked me, at the dilemma of not killing me. Money was taken from my paintings. The ambiguity in position of Karol Getzi is still the same. He was working for Serosh and Abelowski, etc., Forbes, and Getty, in exchanging that the classical contemporanea, the Prince of Peace, doesn't make its presence in the Galleria Neua because there would be an absolute monopoly in creation. The Picasso's Militar Machinata would be obsolete, would be a classical Olympias of gods. Getzi claims that price of my body, my real estate, my storage and my capsule, false faith in him and distraction are all blind. They're just investigations to the maximal potential investigation. The fact that I know he's a criminal and a murderer and a multi-murderer in Gulag Bratislava doesn't make Novrod a $40 trillion Gazprom for Vladimir Putin's anonymous as emperor in imperialismus. I am not an imperator. I'm a painter. I'm Apelles. I'm Alexander's Apelles, Zenodorus of Nero. I'm a creator of nomenclatura painting, Galleria Noia. So my position of losing my queen to weak moves, my wife, Melissa Benza, Damiel Benza, is simply non-existent. It's a disclosed move. I still persist on my absolute characterization that my will to power in my work is addressed by advancing Neanderthal to Homo sapien absolute power of expression. German expression is like Germanicus lost expression in de facto category, like Americanismus and Americus Maximus. It all goes back to Rome, the Republican Senate of Ciceronian multi-tactics, all are adjective subpositions in verbs and nouns, CIA. In modern Latin and archaic and medieval Latin, don't have to go into much detail, for I much studied the subject. But my valedictorian diploma from Cooper Union tests to the Sarah Cooper Hewitt nomenclatura of Charles Hewitt and modern imperialists, thinking that I was gifted to address this non-existent anonymity of secret intelligence that Carol Getz he doesn't have, because it was all based on false faith. I don't have false faith. It's modern man. I do not make mistakes. I disclose at my own deposit. The fact that there is a bad faith and an anonymity and secrecy with the characterization of active, non-active quadrature, Carol Getz doesn't expose the duality that causes tragedy, loss of non-active time. This is not part of me. My work is absolute quadrilaterally active to creation, so there is a reason to cause and to pause. The ambiguity used to distill, to fragment, to thwart, to weaken the capacity of a protogenitor of archetypal nature to come to painting. Hans Hacker used to say, and modern Charles Coles, the president of American Artists, painting was there because it reflected everything, even nothing. And it wasn't abstract. My fortuna and virtue is based on this duality that in principle anatomy comes to art. My loss in gambit of queen to the last move at 40,000 level is not that I lost a chess game, but that it was based on false faith that Carol Getz had determined that I had made in him. This is not true, because then I wouldn't know all the murders, all the attacks, and all the grave digging, and all the cooperative in the known category of what was taught by the Dunajska Streda, Albanian and Ukrainian to Russian mafia, and DKGB. All were organized in professional positions like Miro Smolak, Václav Havel, etc. So you can religiously go trilogically into decriminal and criminal activity. As a CIA agent, no one would have that possibility. I was inside. I was the creator. I was the teaching the situation how to prognose the Prince of Peace. I didn't have control. This is why I've been deprecated, and this is why it is proof that the ambiguity in delay of my nobela clatura, my eminent self and universal knowledge is universal pantheon in activity as creatio summum